everybody, welcome to this Monday mini. Today we're going to be doing a painting in under 30 minutes. I'm going to be using lots of bright colors today and making a really tropical painting. So if you have not joined me before, welcome to my channel. Here we like to paint present over perfect and really just, practice being in the moment and painting, for fun, while allowing that skill set to kind of come in naturally. So not putting any pressure on ourselves, taking time for self-care. So we're gonna get started. So I just have this plate here. Don't mind the level up. This is my son's birthday party. So we're gonna be putting some bright colors on our plates today. So I'm gonna get some magenta, and if you go to the description, you'll see this complete supply list if you're looking for it. I have some brilliant purple here. Some orange. Yellow. A little bit of teal here, or aqua. What is this one? This one's deep turquoise. It says deep turquoise, but I think it's a bit lighter than that. And we'll get some green. This is lime green. Oops. So we have all these pretty colors on our plate. We're gonna grab a large flat brush. And I'm going to just wet my brush, kind of wipe it off. And we can pick any color we want. So we're going to be coming across, we're going to be putting a little circle in here. So we don't need to go too much past this circle. What we can do is put maybe like a little mark around, even with just a little bit of yellow, just to kind of show how far we need to go. Just kind of stay within the guideline there. And then we're going to come in with some of these pretty colors. So we're going to come across, and it's okay if you go out of that circle. And we're not going to do a ton of blending. So we're just going to kind of put some colors in here just loosely like this. And we don't want to blend a ton when we are putting warm colors and cool colors together, because you're gonna see if you start to blend too much, already right here we're getting like a little bit of a muddy brown, and we don't want that. So we are just going to do just a couple strokes back and forth. And we don't have to do any certain color in a row. We can just bring in the different colors as we feel. So we have a lot of fun colors kind of going on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse out my brush. Get a fresh brush, and we're going to go over this one more time with these matching colors. So I started with yellow. I'm just going to bring some yellow in, then some orange. I've got my purple here. Some magenta. This is just gonna give us just a little bit more coverage. You're gonna start to see a little bit more fun colors come peeking through when we do this. And then I'm just gonna leave that like that. And I'm gonna clean out that brush again. And then I'm going to blow dry this. So you can go ahead and blow dry yours. When you're all done, we'll meet back here. Okay, so we're gonna take our other plate that we have here. We're just gonna trace it out right in the middle of all that color. So I just got a pencil, just gonna take and trace it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and throw some black on my plate. And we can still stick with our large flat brush. And I'm just gonna start by outlining my circle. That way I just know where it is. And I just have my brush on a 90-degree angle. So just straight up and down, using it the thin way. You can do any shape you wanted. So if you wanted to do a heart, you could do that, or a square. It doesn't have to be a circle. I just find it easy to do the circle because a paper plate is round. So we already have that supply, but you can go ahead and be creative and do whatever you'd like. There we go. So we have our circle there, and then I'm going to take and paint the outside of this. So just paint it all black. Sometimes when I see paintings like this, I always think about, like, for me, where does my eye draw to? And for me, it draws to the colorful part, right? Because it's bright, makes you feel happy. And it's like a center, like a focal center point. And I always kind of relate that to my life. So, you know, we can have like all these dark thoughts or dark things or negative things that we think about, and they can kind of like surround, you know, our happiness. But when you really stop and put in, you know, the effort to see the bright things, they're there, they're in the center, they're kind of like in the center of you. And these dark, you know, darker areas or negative thoughts, you know, they seem to kind of cloud in and they can take over. But when you really stop and you put that effort in, that focal point in the center, the one that is, you know, your eye goes to naturally, and feels better with, it's always there. So what we focus on grows. So for me, this painting almost like signifies, no matter how much negativity surrounds us, in the center and in our core, lies the ability to be happy and feel positivity. The more we focus on that, the more it grows. So it becomes easier to see first. So paintings like this kind of always remind me of that. I don't know why. Let me know in the comments if you agree. But I like to use a lot of analogies in life, and this is a great one. Kind of keeps me in check when my negative thoughts take over. All right, so we have that all in black. I'm gonna rinse out my brush. So this is something super simple we can paint. We get a lot of variety of color. If you like bright colors, I love them. I love painting with color. And then we can come in and now you can put anything you want in the center. You could put any silhouette or anything you wanted to do. I'm going to do palm trees today. And I'm going to make it almost look like, you know, those t-shirts you buy at the store and they just look like beachy. Usually actually they're probably more on men's shirts, but I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to put a little bit more black on my plate. This is just going to be a silhouette. And I'm going to bring in, I have just my round brush here. This is a size 4. And I'm going to bring in a palm tree over here and a palm tree over here. So I'm just going to bring in, just from the side, a little kind of swoop in. Like this. And then we can do one higher, a little bit higher on this side if we want. And kind of come up like that. And it doesn't matter if these are a little bit thicker because the trunk gets thicker as we, you know, go down. So I can take and make this one a little bit thicker too. And then we're just going to take and we're going to put some points off of here for our branches. So we can do one, let's say, do one this way here like this. This. Coming up. And generally I do 6 for palm trees. So I got 4, 5, and 6. So we got our start there. Do that on the other side. So we can have one kind of coming like that. And this is just what our palm trees are going to come off of. So it's just our focal point. Then we're going to start and we're going to just do little flicks from the center here down. Just little tiny flicks all the way down, just like that. We have our first one. And then we're going to go right over, because this is a silhouette, they're just going to kind of go into each other. That's fine. And we're just following the shape of the original line we drew, so, or painted. So if it's kind of swooping this way, then our little palms that are coming off of here are going to go the same way. So we're just following the same arch. So we'll see how this one's arched down. So all our little palms are going to arch down. you can see our little palm tree is starting to fill out, and it's super simple, just little tiny flicks. And it already is looking so tropical. So we have our one there, and then we're gonna come in and do this one. So same thing, just following how they would naturally hang. And I'm already loving the feel of this painting. Anybody else want to go on vacation? Okay, so we have that there. And then I'm going to bring in some lines. So I'm going to clean up my brush. Just make sure your painting is dry down here, which mine is pretty good. And I'm just going to start right here, kind of down, just like you don't want to cover your palm trees. So I have a ruler here. I'm actually going to flip this. And I'm just going to put in some lines. So come across like this. Maybe just one single line. I'm going to go all the way down like this. Maybe we have a thicker one. I know this is probably hard to see because it's just pencil, but you're going to see as we paint here. I'm just doing straight lines across. Some are closer together, some are further apart. Okay. So once you've got your lines there, I'm actually gonna paint this, but I'm also gonna use a gel pen. Okay, so for my individual lines, I'm just gonna draw these out. So I can actually still use my ruler for this, make sure they're straight. But I have one individual line here, so I'm gonna come in and put a line. Let's try to see where else my individual lines are. I have one here. These are just for the lines that you want to be super thin. You can just use a gel pen for that. I'm trying to see what else I have here. So here's an individual line. And then we can always go and just paint in the rest. So what I might do is, just so you can see it, I'm going to just put in all the lines, but we're gonna have to paint some of these in because they're a little bit thicker. we have our lines in here. I'm going to take my skinny little round brush here, and this is where I'm going to come in. I'm just going to turn this a little bit on an angle for me because my left hand. And I'm going to come into the black, and we're just going to thicken the lines out that need to be thickened. So I'm going to try to stay within that pen mark as best as I can. You can go around this again too if you have any pencil lines that kind of were showing up, or pen marks. I have some just because I went a little bit far. Cover those back up. And then we're just going to keep, so I want to keep that line thin. And then this one here is going to be thicker. Okay, so we can look and see there. If we feel like there needs to be, you know, a couple more lines in there, we can always put them in. Just make sure your painting is dry. And then we can leave it like that. If you want to bring it like one step further, we can always add just a few white highlights just for fun. So I like to sometimes do that just to add a little bit more character. So you could definitely do that. I'm going to let the black dry. I'm going to go back and do a few more lines in with my gel pen just to have a few more thinner lines throughout there to give it that look. But yeah, you can always come in. I'll put a little bit of white on my plate and show you. Just a tiny bit of a highlight, especially on a silhouette painting, can make such a difference. So I'm going to take and water this down just a tiny bit. And I'm going to come on top of my palm tree here. Just put a little thin line of white. So you'll see there. And then we can add a tiny line, kind of like where, it's a bit too wet, tiny bit where like each, you know, branch would come out, but we don't have to have it solid, just kind of showing there's a highlight of it on there. Very thin. This is optional, you don't have to do this. If you like just the silhouette, you can leave it like that. So same with here, just a little line coming up. And we can show where that branches are kind of coming in here. And then the same with around here. So if you wanted to add like, you know, a little bit of like maybe just around the circle here and there. be afraid to move your canvas around or your paper, whatever you're working with. Spin it around, make it easier for you. Why struggle or, you know, try to get an angle that's hard when you can just move the paper. I'm gonna put that back there like that and see how that looks. So just, you know, just doing fun things like that can make a big difference. And then you could even choose to do, you know, a little bit of white on top of your lines, or you can leave them. I'm going to come in now that my paint, I believe, is pretty dry. I'm going to put a few thinner lines in here. Oops, with my pen. So maybe just adding, you know, a couple more. So it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it looks good having those thin lines. There we go. And I really like that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying these Monday minis. There are quite a few up now, so check them out. Paintings in under 30 minutes. You're gonna see a couple options up ahead in this video. You can click one of them and watch the next one. And maybe you know, might want to watch a couple and then get your supplies ready and just get down to learning how to paint and having fun and being present over perfect. So if you do not have a ton of time to paint, check these out. This is perfect for you. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, and I will see you soon for another Monday Mini. Have a great day, everybody.